phenomenon that they have labeled the walkaway wife syndrome. And this refers to wives who have become so emotionally disconnected and dissatisfied with their marriages that they eventually just decide to leave, and often after years and years of just built up resentment towards their spouse.
Have you ever seen a married woman that out of nowhere she just said, you know what, I want to leave this marriage, even the fact that I am happy with this person, even the fact that this person makes me happy and I've done everything that I asked for, even the ones I did not ask for, I want to leave him. Have you ever seen? Because I have not. I feel like any woman that got to a stage whereby they're like, you know what, I want to get a divorce, is because they have passed a stage of sadness, depression. They've passed a stage whereby they are tired of complaining, they are tired of enduring, they are tired of putting up with things that they keep complaining about. These are the women that I see. These are the women that I hear their stories come out to say, you know what, I need to get a divorce, I need to leave. Because they are like, you know what, I don't think there's going to be any solution again. I don't think this person is going to change. I don't think this thing is going to work the way I want. Then they leave. It is not the ones that will come and tell you, oh, this person makes me happy, it gives me the word, I am happy, it does everything, but I just want to leave. I hardly see women like that. I have a video that I saw of a woman talking about walk away syndrome with wives. Let's watch this video, then we'll come back and talk about it.
So I have been reading about this phenomenon that they have labeled the walkaway wife syndrome. And this refers to wives who have become so emotionally disconnected and dissatisfied with their marriages that they eventually just decide to leave, and often after years and years of just built up resentment towards their spouse. Meaning that these women didn't make the decision like on a whim. They agonized over it for an extended period of time, and just was a result of feeling neglected, ignored, and just deeply unhappy with the relationship as a whole. And even though it's the wife that ends up walking away, it's the men who end up feeling blindsided by this sudden emotional detachment from their wife and their wife's decision to file for divorce. They feel like it just came out of nowhere. So with this description of what the walkaway wife syndrome is, most instances, guys, your wife gave you plenty of opportunities to give her what she truly needed, and she may have just flat out told you just straight out what she needed, but you didn't feel the need that it was important enough to change, or in some cases you can get defensive, take a defensive stance, and you just disregard it completely. And so it's an interesting, I think, process that I think a lot of men don't understand or recognize, because obviously marriages don't start out this way. Marriages start out with, your wife being super affectionate and loving and caring and just completely engaged with what's going on in your relationship. But over time, it's the lack of reciprocity with this that ends up wearing the wife down. When that lack of reciprocity takes place, we end up feeling just starved for emotional intimacy from our husbands. If you think about it, and maybe your current relationship or a past one, you've gotten married, things were going great, and then you just kind of transition to like roommate status. And at the beginning, it seems to stem from the men just emotionally checking out of the relationship, I guess, after a period of time. And so them removing their emotions from the relationship, that's when your wife starts to feel neglected and also emotionally alone in the marriage. We wives, we need that emotional connection. It's vital to just survival of the relationship, which is why she probably communicated her needs on like multiple occasions. And no matter how many times she expressed her unhappiness and need for change, no permanent changes were ever made. You know, the husband can promise that they'll do better, but if his actions don't match, then nothing's happened. And if that happens on repeat, wives just stop asking and communicating their needs because they know nothing's going to change. So they just stop engaging completely, because why try? You don't care. That's how she feels, I mean. Anyway, but what's sad is that all she needed was to have her feelings validated when she came to you saying, this is what I'm feeling and what's going on, and her needs recognized, and then a commitment from you to prioritize the relationship again. But honestly, once that initial foundation of love and respect and commitment just break down, we're just left feeling alone. And at the heart of the issue is that with walkaway wives, the key complaint amongst all of them is that they feel immensely taken for granted by their husbands after they've been married for a period of time. And it happens for so long that after a while it's too late to repair what's become broken. A lot of guys become complacent after marriage and end up making little to no effort to continue to romance and pursue their wives. And so that spark that you had in the beginning, it dies. And I think that we can all agree that keeping the spark alive in a marriage, it ensures that a continued commitment to each other and the relationship happens. I know that I've talked to plenty of guys, and they have talked about how they got married and then they just stopped having sex. And I just want to point out the correlation between these two things, guys. You guys get married, and when you were dating, when you were first married, you were both so super emotionally engaged in this relationship. There was an exchange of love and respect and commitment, right? But when the guy in the relationship starts to just kind of emotionally pull away, he doesn't do the expressions of love and emotion that they did all throughout their dating and their engagement and when they got married. That stops. And so then if the wife is then at that point left feeling alone in the marriage, why is she going to want to then provide the man with with sex? She's already, you checked out emotionally, which meant that she did too. And so for us, we need that emotional intimacy in order to create something that will have us want, I guess, to continue to have that physical relationship with you. We crave and need that emotional intimacy in order to do it. So guys, if you want more sexy time, it's really super easy to just start dating your wife again and make her feel seen and heard and validated. But instead, what often happens is that the husbands, they take on this role of like the clueless husband, like, I had no idea what was going on. And while they continue playing this clueless husband role, their wives, they reach a breaking point. And that's when they end up making that really just heartbreaking choice to file for divorce and walk away from the marriage. And it's sad, because if the husband just tried to truly pay attention and take their wives seriously, the issue would be resolved But instead, if you don't pay attention and you refuse to take your wife seriously when they express their needs to you, at a certain point in time, it's too late to come back from that. What's worse is that, you guys get to the end, and I've heard it from plenty of guys and my girlfriends as well, that just most of these guys end up just feeling blindsided and caught off guard by their wife's choice to walk away. And they swear because everything was fine, right? Issues they were having wasn't a big deal, even though she had already provided you with like direct statements of unhappiness and unmet needs. I want to point out that I've heard countless men say that everything was fine in their marriage, and then one day their wife just decided to up and leave them. And what I know from personal experience is that we didn't just decide to leave. We tried to make it better. We wanted it to get better, and we agonized over this decision, but it didn't matter what we did. Nothing ever got better. And honestly, it broke our hearts long before we decided to walk away.
There's one thing men do not understand or realize is that a woman checks out emotionally first before she leaves you physically. Because they don't do that. They leave physical and emotional. In fact, a man can must have left you so long. In fact, physically, he has even left yourself. He will not stay at home. He will not be there. He called, like you are not seeing him physically. A man can do that. So they do not understand. I feel like men do not understand that a woman checks out emotionally first, mentally first, before she checks out physically, before she finally leaves you physically. A woman that have started leaving you physically is because she has already started checking out emotionally, right? When a woman is complaining about a particular thing on and on and on, and it looks like things are not changing, she keeps giving you time to make things work out. She keeps trying to see, okay, these are the things that's going to help the relationship, but it's looking like she's nagging, she's complaining. These women leave and they check out emotionally because they are still in that relationship or they're still in that marriage. Do not mean that they still want that relationship. There was a video I saw not long ago, a few minutes ago on TikTok. This woman recorded when she was talking to her boyfriend or shouting at her boyfriend in the car and telling him that she cheated on me 30 times. I cannot believe you put your thing in other women's pee just like that. Like she was just, expressing her emotions. And the guy started shouting, you need help. You need help. You just forget about it. Just forget about it and move on. Just forget about it. He was raising his voice and telling her that she is the one that needs help. And why is she bringing up the old thing all over again? She should just forget about it and move on. That is the same thing men do, right? They feel like once they've done something very big or once they've done you wrong and they apologize, you're supposed to just erase that memory and move on. That is exactly what they think is supposed to be. But you guys, it is not like that. The thing is, the more you hurt a woman, I don't even understand how to even put it, but it is not as easy. Saying sorry does not mean things are going to change or she does not remember how much you hurt her. And I'll tell you why. Because men do hurt you and go back to hurting you with that same thing they told you sorry for. A man will do something really bad. A man will beat his wife and apologize. I am sorry, buy her gifts, buy her cars. He can't even buy an apartment for her or buy a house if he's very wealthy, right? He's gonna go back to beat her again. Him doing all of that does not mean that he has realized that what he has done is wrong. He's only trying to, make her feel like he's really sorry. But then they are not sorry because they still go back to what they said they are sorry for. And that is what happened. That's what happened to a woman's brain. You cannot keep doing something on and on and on and apologize that you're sorry and you expect her to start complaining on and on. A woman will shut it. And once a woman shuts it, that is the end. Once a woman starts giving a man a silence treatment and doesn't even react to whatever bad thing you do, that is when the woman is dangerous. When a woman is still shouting, talking, complaining about the whole issue, it's because she still cares. Once a woman is like, you know what, you can do whatever you want to do, I'm fine over here. She has left you emotionally, she has left you, she's just physically there. And most of the time, women are physically still in that relationship because they're trying to get enough money to leave. They're trying to put themselves together to leave. Some of them have abandonment issue or something. They just want to leave you because they feel like they've been with you for like 20 years. You're literally their life, right? And they don't understand how they're going to leave you and start all over again with somebody else or even alone, right? They're still trying to process the whole thing. That is why most women are still in the relationship. You guys, the comment section of that video, a lot of women were like, I have left this marriage for a long time, but I'm still here physically. A lot of women are talking about the way that they cannot walk away. It's not because they still want the marriage or they still want the relationship. It's because they're just there for their sake. Because they feel like, I am 40 something years old. I am 50 something years old. How many years do I have left? Let me just stay with this person and let's just keep deceiving ourselves. Most women do not complain anymore, not because they still love the man or not because they want the relationship with the man. It's because cannot even afford to pay a rent for them to move out, and they are even thinking about the process. How much am I going to spend to start living alone? What are the things I'm going to do to start living alone? These are the things women are considering. That is why they are staying in that kind of marriage. It's not because they are still there means that they are happy. And this is why even some single women they're still aspire to get married. Once you talk about marriage and tell them, don't get married, it's not all that, it's just a fantasy, don't do it, or do it for something else, they tell you that. But there are some women that are still there. Even though they are not happy, they are still there, meaning there's something still important and still making them to be there. No, it's because it's difficult to leave, but it's easier to enter. That's what most people don't know. And now we're talking about emotional unavailable, or when a woman is not emotionally available anymore, she has checked out completely. This always It's only men that cause all these things. They are man that used to cause most of the thing, nothing more. The children don't cause it. The children don't cause. Even a regretful mother will not be emotionally unavailable for that relationship. Even the woman going to postpartum depression will still be available for a relationship. The children don't make a woman feel that. It's the men that they get the woman to the stage whereby she's done. And the thing is that I feel like the most dangerous state for a woman is when she has checked out emotionally in that relationship and she's still with you physically. And that is why most of them be like, oh, everything has been good for like 2 years, 3 years, and all of a sudden she left. The thing is that everything was good in their own sense because the woman is not talking, she's not complaining, she's not doing anything. So they feel like, oh, like she has adjusted to my lifestyle. Oh, so definitely she's okay with it. No, she has checked out emotionally. So in men's head is like, oh, everything is perfect. Oh, she even loves me more. She allows me to touch her whenever I want to. She does everything I want. In fact, once I don't even ask, she do it. It's because she knows that she's leaving you, and that's why she's doing all of that. So guys, what is your take on this conversation we are having in today's video? Let's have conversation down in the comment section. Respectfully, it is your girl Maya Davis, and thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like, share, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you in my next one.